The TLSS Tactician is probably going to be the coolest boot I review this year because of how much technology is in it for a first-time boot manufacturing brand. So let's jump into the unboxing. Before we do, subscribe to the channel. It's free, right here or here somewhere. Yeah, thank you guys. So TLSS is a Chinese brand. Most of their products are actually made in Japan, but they were founded in 2017 in Chengdu in China. They had 4 models released in 2024. So they had the Tactician, they had the Libero, they had the Striker, and then the Sweeper. And the Sweeper, I'm not sure if it's out yet, but that one is meant to release at some point, either late 2024 or early 2025. It is January 31st of the filming of this video, so we're already well into 2025. But here you go. So here is the Tactician Goat in a 42.5, which is a US 9, a 27 centimeters, and a UK 8. So pretty standard sizing there. The Turf model, which you guys will probably see the review go up a little bit after this, I actually go up half a size for the Turf model just because the fit is slightly better in my opinion. And here we go. I am so pumped about these boots. So you do get a string bag, which is really, really nice. Very high quality. It's very Nike string bag-esque, but it actually feels a little bit more robust with the TLSS logoing there. Very simple, nice design, and probably something that I will never use, but here we are anyway. And okay, before we even touch anything, you can see probably through the paper, there's one with silver and blue and one with silver and pink, which means we have a mismatched pair of football boots, which is very, very cool. Okay, ooh, yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Look, holy crap, those are lightweight. Jeez Louise. Oh my days, guys. These are special. Oh, what? What? Okay, this is gonna be nuts. I reckon these will be boot of the year, or very close to boot of the year. These are so cool. Nice sole plate as well. Springy, love that. Okay, some crazy tech in this pair of football boots. And look at that. Look at that. The other one is pink. How good. Okay, so there you go. So you got a blue one and a pink one. Kind of fun. I like that. Little accent. I'm not a huge fan of this pink color. I think it's a little meh, but say lovey. Here we are. All right, let's get this box out of the way. Nice box, by the way. The drawer style is kind of cool. Makes it fun to unbox. And I'm going to throw this here, and we're gonna go over really quick this little thing. There's a lot going on here. So first of all, they include a Carvo football boot, like a little Carvo piece that's in the shape of a football boot that says made in Japan, which is super sweet. And then they've got the Carvo kind of thing that's made in Japan. They've got the Temper, which is a mattress company. We'll talk about that in a sec, which is made in Denmark. And so you can see kind of the business cards of the other companies they've partnered with. And then you also have the Pebax powered, which is the lightness, extreme shock resistance, and snapback effect that you get from the made from renewable castor beans, which is super, super cool. And that is, of course, talking about the sole plate. So that is awesome. I really like that. We're just gonna tear that off really quick just so I can start talking about the boots, have them in hand. Here we go. All right. Yeah, wow. Wow, 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 wow. This boot in general carries a lot of resemblance to the Morelia Neo series, obviously the non-beta version, this being the beta version, but very, very similar in a lot of ways, from the construction of the laces and just the general shape, although these are fully K-leather, which is pretty sensational. So these are actually worn by many, many, many Chinese Super League players and a couple of J-League players as well. So TLSS has sort of made their way this year into the top line of football in the Asian markets, which is pretty sweet. So these are meant to be more of the control and first touch boots. You can tell from this texturing as well, which is really nice. And oh, by the way, the material that actually sits underneath here is from Temper, which is the mattress company. So they have partnered with a mattress company for the padding and the comfort of this pass pad area, which is pretty fantastic. Super, super cool touch there. So that's piece one of tech. Obviously a full K-leather upper in this type of lightness and lightweight construction is also pretty excellent. You're gonna get some nice lockdown, I'm sure, from the synthetic branding here that's kind of locked underneath the sole plate, so it's going to give you just that little bit of extra lock-in in the midfoot area there, and then this beautiful texturing that's actually like proper, like here. It's like proper micro texturing on, it's like little dimples on the inside, kind of that pass pad. Reminds me a lot of the CTR in some ways as well. The boot has micro suede basically from here all the way down and around, and then on the inside is where this boot gets really, really interesting. So this sole plate this removable sock liner is remarkably soft. It's so soft, it's so nice to the touch, and then it's got this really, really padded sensation back here for the heel cup, because you can see right here, it's got the Carvo and the temper. You've actually got a Carvo insert in the forefoot, you can see down there. So it basically goes from about there all the way forward to give you that really nice snappy sensation. Yeah, wow. Very nice and snappy. And then on the underside of here, you have the TLSS flash foam. So you've actually got the equivalent, maybe not equivalent, it's to the touch underneath here, underneath this sock liner, feels like what you would do if you took out the removable sock liner from the Vapor 16 and you were to press down on the air zoom. It's not air bubbles, it's a foam, but that's what it feels like. So it's very cushy back in the heel area, which is sweet. These are, from a tech perspective, these are chopping up to be one of the coolest pairs of football boots, and potentially the most comfortable too, because they're fully K-leather, which is wild. And then in this silver, pink, silver, kind of cyan colorway, they look pretty sick, if I'm honest. I really like this. The silver leather is really, really cool. The other thing that I like is, even though this is an FG model that's gonna be played mostly on FG, I like that they've put the reinforcement around the toe, because they know that this separation, this is where the separation happens with most people. So if they're gonna use the stud pattern like this, people will probably wear it on AG every once in a while. And oh, by the way, you're gonna have just better durability if you throw a little bit of extra synthetic, just a little synthetic piece right on the top. This is actually used in a lot of turf models as well. Pretty much every turf model I know has some sort of reinforcement around the toe just to keep it from going anywhere. But oh my days, ladies and gentlemen, these are sensational looking. The tech in them is absolutely incredible. And I'm very, very pumped to get these on pitch for a play test, which we are gonna do right now. All right, guys, welcome to the field. We are all set up and ready to go with the TLSS Tactician. This is a boot. Actually, let me sort this camera out as well. I want to make sure you guys get the close-up angles. That was something that I heard from the previous batch of the playtest new formats that you guys wanted to see, the up close of getting the boot on feet. Now, the TLSS Tactician is a boot that I've been very, very, very excited to try on with the K-leather and the literal mattress technology. The heel area, like, it's got everything to be one of, if not the boot of the year. So here we go. Let's get these on feet. Oh my God. Oh my days, guys. These are unbelievable. Wow. Okay, so these are, let me make sure I've got the sizing right. The UK 8, US 9. Yeah, okay. I did go with the US 9, and these are fit perfectly right out of the box. Very minimal space on the end. This is feeling, dare I say, like an upgraded version of a Morelia Neo, a regular one. Obviously, this doesn't have knit, so I can't really compare it to the Mizuno, sorry, the beta version. That's what I'm trying to say. The beta version. But goodness gracious, these are comfortable. So basically the running foam material underneath my heel is actually pretty noticeable straight out of the box. Just standing up in the boots is pretty impressive, if I'm honest, and creates this amazing, almost air zoom, but a lot more solid than air zoom. When you're on an air bubble, it definitely feels
I don't know, to me it feels a little unbalanced. I know a lot of people with narrower feet have just an absolute ride on it. Like, it's so much fun because their feet basically sit perfectly on top of the Air Zoom, whereas mine like spill over the sides because it's so wide. And so Air Zoom really isn't my favorite technology, but with this stuff just in the heel area, you have this really comfy and kind of plush bouncy sensation underfoot. That combined with the Carvo, oh, these are going to be insane. So let's just jump straight into the footwork and get it going, because I am absolutely thrilled with how, oh my God. Yeah, okay. These are going to be easily top 5 boot of the year, I think, already. And yeah, sole plate feels excellent, incredibly responsive. The heel gives you that really nice and plush bouncy sensation. And I love that they went with conical studs here. I think that was absolutely the move. Now, I don't know if you saw from the really close-up shot, but I didn't tie the laces with the runner's knot. That's just because I want to see how much lockdown I can get without the runner's knot first, and then go from there. And so far, no issues at all. Obviously, we're only doing footwork in a straight line. We're not doing any like crazy cutting or anything, but oh, man, these are chopping up to be a very, very special football boot. Goodness gracious. All right, so who is the Tactician not for, right? So if you're a person who either doesn't like using animal products or you're not a fan of a K leather upper, then this is definitely not the boot for you, right? That makes sense, given that these are a leather upper. And then if you are somebody who doesn't, but you still want the same technology as a TLSS boot, you can get the TLSS Striker, which I will also be reviewing. It'll come out probably after this video, but it's essentially same sole plate, same Carvo, same bounciness on the heel area, but with a Tasian synthetic upper, which will give you a very different feel. I haven't tried those on yet, so I can't really say what they're gonna be like. But in my opinion, if you are somebody who wants a Mizuno Morelia Neo series type feel, or a ASICS DS Lite X-Fly 5 feel, but you want that elevated technology and a little bit more responsive and kind of the boot feels like it's a little bit more purpose-built, dare I say, these are the ones to go for. And please don't get me wrong, what I'm not saying is that the DS Lite X-Fly 5 and Morelia Neo 4 are bad football boots, because obviously that is not the case. Those are some of the best football boots on the market, if you ask me. But these seem to have taken those boots and gone to a whole nother level as far as technology goes, which is pretty impressive given the fact that TLSS only existed in 2017. Like, this leather upper feels not as plush as Mizuno's, about on par with ASICS, which again, we're talking about like 2 to 3%. Like, these are still more plush and still more premium feeling than any Adidas boot, any Nike boot in terms of leather quality, but they're just not quite made in Japan Mizuno or Adler level, but no one is really. And for a brand that's this new, having a boot that feels kind of this plush, this premium, basically zero break-in time. I have absolutely no hot spots anywhere in the boot. That is remarkable for my freaking dumbass flipper feet. These are such a joy to play in. But again, if you're not into leather, these aren't for you, and that's fair enough. All right, a little bit of shooting first. So, or I should say passing. I don't have my rebounder today, so we're just gonna get a little bit of cutback and bang. That probably should have been a pass, but whatever. Here we go. More like that. And that's also like a shot. You know what? We're just feeling it today. And that is all right, because these Tactician are fabulous. There we go. A little bit better. I want to take one more because that feels excellent. The striking surface on these are just fantastic. And it's one of those boots that I just already, having just tried them on, I mean, these are going to be, I think, top 10 for sure boots of the year, if not top 5, because the playing experience, like, they just melt on your feet in terms of like, they just, there we go. Nice. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. They just are so seamless, and they're just, boom, all of a sudden they're molding. There you go. That's it. Perfection already. Same thing on the right side. Again, just trying to get that little whip into, ideally the bottom corner. A little bit of a poor angle from me there, a little bit too far back. But one thing that I am noticing too is, there we go, that's perfect. One thing that I am noticing too is the kind of plushness and a little bit of a grip element, honestly, on that instep because of not only the little dots, but as I'm pulling back and kind of putting my foot down and into the ball this way, like an Iniesta kind of thing, you can feel that grip kind of holding the ball close to your foot more than maybe something that doesn't have that, right? Comparing these with the two others that I just mentioned, DS Lite X-Fly 5. I suppose you could put X-Fly Pro 3 in there, but this is not meant as a speed boot, I don't think. I think it's meant for, you know, Tactician is meant more for like, it's sort of what the Ultreza was supposed to be with Iniesta. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's supposed to be like a kind of a control boot, but I tell you what, this kind of has let's do one more actually. This sort of has aspects of the DS Lite X-Fly 5 and Morelia Neo 4, but also almost like CTR in terms of the way that the instep has a little bit of that extra padding to it. So even when I'm whipping the ball, sort of using the ball of my big toe here, I can still feel that grip element and sort of that mattress plushness. And so there's this really beautiful kind of pingy sensation that I'm getting when hitting the ball. And the drill we're just about to do, or I'm just about to do, is going to be a little bit more shooting focused as opposed to like, you know, whip, pass, cross focused. And so we can get into a little bit more of what that striking sensation is all like. Here we go. Really excited to test this out actually. A little bit of shooting. Ooh, if I can freaking dribble, god damn. If I can dribble properly. Here we go. Nice. Ooh, a little bit ahead of me there. Bummer. It feels pingy though. I would say that both the DS Lite and Morelia Neo 4, I'll say Neo 4 DS Lite from now on because it's just the names are too goddamn long, are thinner in terms of the experience that you're gonna get, but the striking with these, because they're just a little bit, there's a little bit extra, plus you have the sole plate reinforcement from the Carvo and the bounciness in that instep makes for just, oh yes, one of the most awesome shooting experiences. Now, with most football boots, because of the way my feet are structured, narrow heel, wide midfoot, what that does is unless the heel is absolutely perfect, which Asics heels are, Morelia is sort of like still top tier, probably A tier, whereas Asics are S tier. These are like right in between those. They're not as good. The heel area is not as good as the Asics. And the reason I say that is because as I'm planting, this right here, this motion is where I get the most slippage in my heel area and I start to develop blisters or blood blisters on the bottom, kind of the bottom lateral sides of my heel area. Why that is because obviously you do this, you land and you plant and your heel kind of twists a little bit. Now, because my foot is stuck in the midfoot, because it's pushed the boot to its widest possible kind of stretching, as I'm there, it's my ankle and heel that moves, not my midfoot. So that's where I get some issues, and these slip a tiny bit more than the DS Lite, but definitely less than the Morelia Neo 4. Similar thing, now just the other side with a little bit of a different shooting drill. Yes. Ooh, right down the pipe, yikes. All right, however, this is about the boots, not about my performance. Such a freaking cop-out for a poor shot, oh Lord, okay. What was I saying? So, yeah, so in terms of heel, ooh, yeah, love that. This is one of those, oh man, wow, why is that so off? This is one of those boots that is just pure comfort and honestly kind of bliss to play with. They just disappear on your feet. And I would say, honest to God, this sole plate is one of my favorite of the year so far. It's conical, so it suits like this AG surface, fine, but they're not too long where there'll be an issue for an FG surface, obviously, because it's an FG boot. And that is like the sweet spot for me. I love X-Fly 5, X-Fly Pro 3, all those, Neo 4, all those sole plates as well. But this with that Carvo and that little bit of a bouncy sensation in the heel, just, underfoot is magic. Like, it just feels insane. All right, some free kicks. And of course, the crossbar challenge, back by popular demand. I'll make a little thing here. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple downsides of the Tactician. The major freaking, how do I say this, obvious one is that it's not available anywhere in the world except for China. However, I have talked to some TLSS people and they are setting up their store right now. So right. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Idiot. Oh, God. So what I'm saying is that they're setting up the store now so that you will get international shipping regardless. So be prepared, have your credit cards ready, debit cards ready, your cash ready, because that will be an exciting moment, because these, I think, are going to take over the world. And I have no stake in the company, by the way. I just want to make that clear. I don't own any piece of TLSS. I am not sponsored by them. I was just able to get them through a connection of mine in China, and I think they're excellent. I think they're absolutely excellent. Now, outside of that being the obvious major downside, nice. Oof. One of the other major downsides is that this is probably, funny enough, not a boot that I would wear in a game. And that's because I tend to prefer knit and synthetic boots for match situations. The furthest towards leather that I would probably go is, well, I guess I would wear these in a match. They just wouldn't be my favorite because I prefer something thinner. And that's coming from somebody who doesn't touch really. I've worn X-Fly 5 Special Edition and X-Fly 5 in games before, and they were really good. I mean, again, from a performance perspective, there's nothing that I can say that, let's go one more, that is gonna be a hindrance. The only downside is that they're just, like, genuinely, they're just not my personal preference for how thick a boot is, right? I'm looking for something that's a lot thinner, a little bit closer to, there we go, to GX or to Vapor. From a synthetic point, like a Scudetta, those are more my vibe from a game type situation. But for a training session, man, these are freaking amazing. That being said, if you love leather boots, buy these for games. Buy these for games. All right, and back by popular demand, the crossbar challenge with every boot at the end of the first playtest. Here we go. We'll go left foot first this time. Little ping. Not enough. Gotta like get under it, right? Like gotta get down here and just kind of chip it in. Lovely. God, looks good. The other downside to the Tactician is gonna be just, I think, mostly personal preference. Like, it's gonna be, there it goes, love that. It's gonna be mostly personal preference, because some people like leather, some people don't. And I'm not talking from like I'm vegan, so I don't want leather. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that for some people, like myself actually, who don't really prefer leather uppers for game-like situations, I just prefer synthetics better or knit better. This just isn't gonna be for you. But don't worry about, like, this will fit most feet shapes. This will fit most people. It's gonna feel amazing, fits true to size, like all the good things, all the good things. All right, guys, that is gonna be it for the initial review and playtest of the TLSS Tactician. Now, this is a boot that I am thoroughly enjoying. I think this is one of those unicorn special boots that if you get a chance to buy, you should definitely pick up a pair. I think they are fantastic. Again, durability will be something for the 1 month review, obviously, but one of the things that they've stitched this kind of, how would you say? I talked about it in the initial reaction and unboxing portion of the video, but this extra piece of sort of, not sandpapery like material, but it is something that you would put on an MG or an AG football boot. And the fact that they've put that here makes for a boot that I feel super comfortable playing with on an AG surface. Yes, of course, the stud pattern has to be right, and it is, but it's one of those things from a durability perspective that I just have that peace of mind that, okay, so long as the build quality of these is good, which, again, the build quality and the materials used here are pretty sensational in my opinion. The tongue is probably the only thing that just kind of feels a little bit flimsy and whatever. That's probably, it's true of the Neo 4 series as well, the regular Neo 4. But again, the fact that they've put all these little touches in there to make for a boot that genuinely performs excellently well. Is it my favorite, or is it gonna be a game boot for me? Probably not. The Tactician is one of those boots that I will wear for basically everything else because it is so comfortable. It's so responsive as well through the sole plate area with the Carvo here in that forefoot. And it's just one of those boots that I absolutely love. And to be fair, these guys came out with the silver just before Mizuno did. So who's copying who now? No, I'm kidding. Mizuno probably knows about TLSS, but it's not even in the same category, to be honest, because Mizuno is so... That crow is getting on my nerves. Anyway, TLSS Tactician, huge green check mark for me. This is a massive, massive, massive addition to the boot market. I think these are going to crush as long as they can get shipping correct and they don't cost an absolute fortune because these are special. So definitely stay tuned. I'm sure I will, if you're not following me on Instagram already, go follow me because I will try and promote the announcement of their international shipping. I do that because I want more good football boots on the market, and these are good football boots. And I would highly recommend these for a lot of players who want that Morelia DS Lite X Fly 5 feel, but want that extra bit of technology and performance out of their boots. So as always, be awesome, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.